Okay, thank you everyone for attending tonight's Thermomix Thursday virtual. Tonight we're going to talk about meal planning. So the best way to meal plan is through Cookidoo. So no matter which Thermomix model you have, whether it's a TM31, a TM5 or a TM6, you can still use Cookidoo and use it to your advantage in meal planning, shopping, the whole works. Obviously in the TM31, you have to read it off your phone or your iPad or your laptop and do it manually. The TM5, if you have a cook key, you can download most things. We'll talk through what you can't utilize. And the TM6, you can utilize everything in Cookidoo. So what I will do is I will share the screen and we'll actually go back to Explore. All right, can everybody see that? Let me know. Actually, I can't see the chat. Liz, if you could watch the chat and let me know if there's anything people would like to see. Or, oh, hang on. Yep, cool. All right, okay, so let me move that. So with Cookidoo, we actually have about 80,000 recipes. There are 10,000 in English. So how you actually, when you first log into Cookidoo in Australia, you get 3,000 recipes. That's the Australian recipes. What you need to do is either in your app or on the laptop, go to your profile, then your cooking style. So you can change this at any time. You can change any of your preferences at any time. So you choose which kind of cook you want to be. I'm going to choose veggie cook today. Then you can change your filter preferences. So I'm going to update the filter because not all of you have the blade cover or the blade cover and peeler. But what I actually do, because I have a TM6, I select allow all versions, and then I choose English as my language and do not choose any country or region. This then gives me 10,000 recipes to choose from. And every month, each country adds recipes as well. So I'm going to hit save. And so then when I go to explore and I hit search, I now have 10,075 recipes that I can choose from. So what the recipes that you have are Australia, England, America, Canada, and then there are some other countries that actually have done collections in English. So you get to capture all of those. So don't think 10,000's a huge number either, because what we can actually do is we can filter for what we're looking for. So we're talking about meal planning tonight. The big things is you need to think ahead, obviously, and then look at, so there's certain choices that you need to make. I have actually, if you can see this, I have actually downloaded the seasonal produce for Perth. So have a think about what fruits and what vegetables are in season when, because that will affect, if you're money conscious or even eco-conscious, where you just want to buy fruits and vegetables that are from Australia and in season, then it's good to know when things are available. So that's good to choose. Then you also want to look at what's in your cupboard, in your pantry and in your fridge. So, and then you get to decide as well, are you going to meal plan just for 2 or 3 days? Are you going to meal plan for a week? Or are you the kind of person who likes to meal plan for 2 weeks? That will sort of make your choices as you go ahead. Then you've also got things to think about. There's Liz again. Things to think about is, what do people in your household actually like to eat? Because that will also make a huge difference. There's no point in you meal planning for all sorts of things that nobody's going to eat. But that's one thing that we can go across. Now, let me hit search again. So we get, so it's come up again with the peeler and the blade cover. All right, so 10,075 results found. So what I can do from there is I can filter. So if you are the kind of people who do starters or prefer meat dishes or rice dishes, all that sort of stuff, you can actually select that. Ingredients. Now, the tip for ingredients, say we type in carrot. Nope, you get a fucking spell. Carrot, then you have to decide which kind of carrot. So if I just type in carrot, that gives me 1,000 results. But then if I want to type in spinach as well, fresh baby spinach, that brings me down to 24 results. So we'll take spinach away and just use carrot, but then tags. So there's actually a budget. So that's 39 results. But if I take away carrot and I just go for low budget, then I've got 588 results. Then you can do whether you're easy, medium, advanced, preparation time, total time, portions. Now, stars, I'm not big on choosing from stars because I like what I like. I've not actually rated anything, and there are some recipes out there that are 3 stars that I really quite love. So, and because it's a star system and not an exclamation system, a note system down the bottom as well, like the recipe community, I'm not as big on stars. Then you choose your Thermomix version, if you have accessories, and then language. So let's look at these 588 results. Say we wanted to just look at, I'm going to do another filter. I am going to put in pasta and rice, main meat dishes, main dishes veg, and main dishes other. That still gives me 118 results to start off with. How you actually then meal plan from here is, let us choose the turkey taco bowl, and I'm going to add it to my week. I'm not necessarily going to cook it today. I'm actually going to add it to my week. So you can actually go and let's cook it on Sunday and save there. Then I am going to make this lentils with rice, add to my week. I'm going to put that the next day and save. I'm going to do the Southwest quinoa, add to my week. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to put that into November, the 1st of November. But as well of the salad, I'm actually going to have the turkey, add to my week, pop it on the 1st. Then you can do snacks as well. And then also we have also within our recipes, hang on, we'll just go to my week. So there we go. There's our Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is all set up. You can also, there's 2 different ways to look at my week. You can either look at it as a list like this, or you can look at it like this. So especially, I find that sometimes I'll have meal planned something, and you know what? I never got to make it. So then you can actually go back. If you're looking at just the week ahead, you can only just see the week ahead. But if you select this instead, then you can actually go back and go, right, I wanted the creamy tomato and salami fettuccine. I'm actually going to move that to another day. I'm going to put that on the 4th, on the Friday, and then move it. I find that quite handy because there's quite a lot of times that I just don't get around to making what I thought I was going to make. So we've got all our recipes. Let us go back to that one. So then once from here, we then want to look at what's in our cupboard. So you could have done what's in your cupboard and picked out half a dozen things that you want to use, especially if you want to use up some things like, you know, anything in your pantry that you haven't used for a while. You could have chosen your recipes by choosing those ingredients, or you can actually add to shopping list, add to shopping list, add to shopping list, add, and add. So then I'm actually going to go here, and there's my shopping list there. I'm actually going to show ingredients. So you can either go by category or you can go by recipes. And then I just wander through my kitchen and my pantry, look in my fridge and my freezer, and obviously water. I always take that off because we've got water. So I've got Parmesan in the fridge. I've always got olive oil. I have garlic at the moment, brown onion. So you can see that it's disappearing off the list. Where it actually goes is down to the bottom. Scroll all the way down. And so you've not actually lost it. If you've chosen something by accident and go, oh, no, I used that yesterday, you can then untick it and it goes back into the list. So it's up to you whether you like it. So the turkey taco bowl as well is in ounces because that's an American recipe. But it's not an issue because when you actually follow the recipe on the screen, the scales come up in ounces. Right. Chat. Do the TM5 not tick Australia? Yes, you can definitely do that for the TM5. You can, so almost anything, but you can't use the specifically TM6 recipes if you have a TM5. So there's certain modes that you can't use with the TM that are in the TM6 that you can't use in the TM5, but you can do a heck of a lot of stuff. So if I actually go back to explore and I hit search, I am going to filter and scroll down, and I'm actually going to choose the TM5 and the TM31. Oh, I can't choose both. All right, I'm going to choose the TM5 then, which should show me both the 31 and the 5. I've still got 9,000 results. There's still 9,000 things you can make in English. So you're only missing 1,000 recipes. So that's not so big. Let's go to my week and my ingredients, because I also wanted to show you. So you go through and you deselect all the things that you have. Water, I've got fettuccine in the cupboard, I've got rice, I've got quinoa. But then you can also go down the bottom once you've ticked everything off, and you can actually add additional items. So toilet paper, coffee, wine. And then what I actually do, so I have my app on my phone. I walk around Woolies with my shopping list, and as I pick things up off the shelf, I actually tick it off so that my list gets shorter and shorter. You should, in theory, be able to click up the top here and actually order ingredients. But unfortunately, the company that does the ordering the ingredients connecting to Woolworths has been bought out. And so they're still in negotiations as to what's going to happen with that. The company Whisk were overtaken by somebody else. But what you can do is open your Woolies or your Coles order, if you do order in your shopping, and just pop all the ingredients in. Not too hard at all the things that you need. So options as well, you can share it, you can print it, or you can clear all. So it's totally up to you how you use the shopping list. Send it via text to the other person that you live with, get them to pick it up. That's always a good one. Any questions so far? I did want to show you. So with the TM6, we actually have, so I've actually saved a bunch of recipes in collections that I've created. So I had a bunch of mints. So I wanted to find all the mints. How do you share the app with your partner? Okay. So what you do is you give them, I've given my husband and my daughter my Cookidoo login. And I have actually created a collection for each of them. So I think Jessica's called it Stuff Jess Likes. Oh, so we've got Jessica. She's got 36 recipes, and Stephen has not been as good. He's only got 6. So I've created each of them a collection and said to them, go through, you find stuff that you would like. Now, especially with 10,000 recipes, I would, if you find something that you like the look of, create a collection and pop it in there, because you're never going to find that thing again. You'll be talking about it in a week's time and you'll be going, oh, I saw that thing and it looked really good, but I can't remember what it was. So, I've got stacks and stacks and stacks of collections. So feel free to create a whole bunch. Yes, you can share a login. You just have to be very sure that you have to make sure that you look at the recipe, that you're not going to cook a TM6 one. Although you can create your own login, Amy, and it's only $69 a year, so that's $1.33 a week to have your own access and your own login, and that might actually suit you more. It's totally up to you, but $1.33 a week, it might be worth it. So then I've got all these Facebook things that I keep thinking that I'm going to actually make, which some I have, some I haven't. Crock and Bush, I definitely have not as yet. And I want to make that cake as well. So what you can also do, we have these collections. We have created recipes. So these are for the TM6. You can create recipes here, but you can't actually put them on the TM5 to follow the recipe. You can only follow it on the TM6. So the 3 things that you can do are, so I have moved over from the recipecommunity.com.au, which is the platform that we used for TM31s and TM5s for all these years. So there's recipes on there that are created from customers, consultants, thermics, and chefs. You can bring any of those recipes straight over to Cookidoo. You cannot bring recipes from any other website into Cookidoo. You could also, though, so the banana bread and the gnocchi and all those are actually from Cookidoo themselves. I've actually brought them over because this creamy salami and creamy tomato and salami fettuccine, I've made it since I got my TM31 in 2003, but I make it differently. I use bacon instead of salami, and I use light filling instead of cream, and I've mixed up the steps. So I've actually brought it over into created recipes and changed the steps around so that I can still follow it on the screen, but I do it my way. I've also created, if you can see here, I've actually created a recipe called leftovers. So there's actually no prep, total time, anything there, but I can add it to my week. So I'm going to pop it in Wednesday. And then if we go over to my week, then that will remind me on Wednesday that we're going to have leftovers. So my recipes, back to created recipes. The other thing that you can do is actually upload your own recipes. So if you've got something that your mum used to make, please don't. So just do family recipes or something that you've created yourself. If you upload your favorite skinny mixes recipe or Donna Hay recipe, you're actually going against copyright. So please don't do that. But what you need to do as well, so I brought these over. I want to show you what it looks like. Let's see if the Goslame has it. So I've brought that over from the recipe community. See, all these steps here are all in a bunch. So once you've brought it over, you actually still then need to do some editing. So I can come down here. I won't show you the whole thing, but so preparation steps. I am going to delete that. And I'm going to, so it says chop onion 3 seconds. So I'm actually going to say add ingredients. I'm going to say add onion, add 1 onion. See how it's highlighted in green? That means that it will come up on the screen. So tick. Then the next one, I am going to hit enter. So chop onion, but what I'm going to do here is do cook settings. So what was it? It was like, let's say 3 seconds. Need to move the chat over. Select speed. I'm just going to pick speed 7. And see, you could also choose reverse as well if you needed to, and temperature. So when I tick that, that's going to highlight. And so that will show up on the screen on my TM6, not my TM5. So then I delete that. So add olive oil. So I'm going to hit enter there. I'm going to come back, add ingredients. So 30 grams of olive oil. That will actually, when I do it on the screen, it will bring the scales up on the screen. So that's how you go through and make each step just like a normal Thermomix recipe. That's just a short, quick lesson. And then I'll hit confirm, and then I'll hit done. And what I'll actually do is I'll put cook today, and I'll show you on the screen in a minute. Cook today. There we go. So other things, let me stop share for a second. Other things to think about when you are looking at meal planning. So I don't know about you guys, but I only make veggie stock. I have made the chicken and the beef stock once or twice, but I never got around to using it. So I just use the veggie stock. One way of saving money is when your vegetables start going off, pop them in the freezer in baggies, and when you have enough vegetables, make your veggie stock. One suggestion that I had given to me the other day was make the beef stock and the chicken stock, but as you may not use it in the whole time, share it out with your friends. Maybe one of your friends will make the beef stock, maybe you'll make the chicken stock, and you can swap half or thirds or however you want to do it. That's something that you can do and save money. So when you're actually, oh, and also another way for meal planning and stuff like that is you think about what you're cooking during the week and what you can actually maybe blitz the veg that's left over from one meal. Because you might have bought 4 carrots, you only used 3. Maybe later in the week you can blitz up that carrot into something else, and then it's not a waste. The other thing too is have a think about what can you make ahead and how long it's going to last as parts of recipes. So things that you could do in your meal planning, say, let's have a look at if you're a person who likes nut milks, you could make almond milk and then keep the almond pulp from that and use the almond meal, almond pulp, maybe dry it out or not even dry it out, use it at the same time to either make torta caprese, which is a chocolate cake, or you can actually make biscuits from almond meal as well. That's the sort of thing as you're meal planning, think about the different steps that you could do. Think about if you're making a curry, can I make it into a pie the next day if there's leftovers? The other one thing that is really going to help, let's share screen again because I just thought of it, because it only actually happened in the last 2 days on the 25th. What we actually have now, I'm going to open this lemon rosemary chicken. And I am going to scroll down and I can actually choose. We now have portion adjustment, portion scaling. Awesome. So all the people who are like, there's only 2 of us at home, what am I going to do? Maybe you don't need to worry about leftovers now. Although this one I just looked at before, you can either have 4 or 6. You can actually scale that one up. And what you can do, once you've actually scaled it up to 6 portions, you could add it to a collection. You could maybe choose a collection for that's called 6 portion dishes, or you could call it a collection when the family's over or something like that. So then you can save all of the recipes that you've changed. So then you don't have to do it again. Let us go back. Let us explore. So there's things, let's have a look at the stir-fried beef bowl. So there's 4 portions. There you go. I can choose 2, 4, or 6. So I'm going to go down to 2 portions. Let me just show you what the ingredients were before. So we've got 500 grams of stir-fried beef, 300 grams of white rice, 4 portions down to 2. Serving size has been changed. There you go. 300 grams of stir-fried beef, 150 grams of white rice. So there are certain recipes that they have already converted. However, you could use your own nous and convert other recipes. Let me have a look. What one do I know that hasn't been changed yet? Let's see if that one. There you go. So it's not actually been officially changed, but you could make it your own. So this is your responsibility. So it will go into your created recipes rather than being able to save it into a collection. So not all aspects can be scaled automatically. So especially when you've got things like rice or pasta or steaming times, that sort of thing, then you might actually just have a read of each of the recipe and then have a read of how you've changed it and just make sure for yourself that it's correct. So let's start. I'm going to go from 6 to 3 and see what happens. So there you go. So 2 garlic cloves, all that sort of stuff. But it kept the 1,000 grams of water, because when you're going to steam something, when you're going to cook something, you need the same amount of water. So then when I save it, and done, it's then saved into my created recipes. So there's still ways, even if they haven't officially changed the recipe, you can still halve. So obviously, of course, there are a bunch of recipes that you should not double because you will go over the max line in your bowl. So always be careful of that sort of thing. Okay. Did anybody have any questions about that part? Not yet. Okay. Okay. So then also when you're meal planning, if you're making larger batches or you want to adjust things, don't forget that to save money, you can bulk up with grains or beans or extra veg. If you haven't, if you've got a certain amount of something in your pantry, but you only have X amount of it, don't forget to have a think about that you can still use it and maybe substitute the other half that you didn't have. So scaling to save, we've talked about that. You can always freeze your leftovers if you had leftovers. But I have been criticized in my household that I've been freezing the leftovers that nobody wanted to eat as leftovers anyway. So maybe I'll have to have a look at that. And maybe try and make it something different. Yeah, I mentioned before, will the other people that you live in the house with like it? If it's something that you've never tried before, maybe use the scaling and halve it, and then you won't have any leftovers and people can try it. And if they don't like it, you actually haven't wasted that much money or effort. So just pick things that are in your pantry and go through the filter process. Let me share screen again. Like I showed you with different ingredients, all that sort of stuff. Now, something really good. Let me just log back in again. Something really good that you actually have. What? Oh, because I've probably gone to a different country. Hang on. Let's just go Cookidoo. .com.au and log in. There we go. So other things that you could, oh, for goodness sake, why is that? All right, so let's How can this be so? I only just entered it. All right. So let me stop share for a minute. Let's close Cookidoo. All right. So now I know that Carolina is on here tonight and she is hosting Amy and Helen. So what we have for a limited time, if you actually bring, if you have a demo in person, or if you bring 2 people to our virtual on a Thursday night, you can then qualify for host rewards. So for you +2, limited time offer, we've got the meter at the moment. So if nobody purchases, there we go, in the meter. So the host price, if nobody purchases, $99. However, if one of your guests buys, it's $49. Same with the blade cover and peeler, host price, all of these things are discounted. And if somebody purchases from your demo, it's free. So that's very exciting at the moment. Now, I talked about in my Facebook page about the baby bundle. So there's some of the new baby kitchen and eating things that are in the mix shop at the moment, which is pretty cool. There's also a collection of recipes that are baby and toddler. I know, they're so cute. They're so cute. And made with really all the right plastic, all the right materials that you wouldn't want to, that you are happy and comfortable using for your kids and your family. Also, as you saw behind me before, join our team. You can actually start your business at the moment. Come and join us and earn your team 6 with just 4 sales. So it's normally 6 sales. It's a fantastic deal, absolutely fantastic deal. And each one of you can think of probably 4 people who either have an old Thermomix or haven't got one, always wanted one, and there are your 4 sales. So if you have any, or if you know somebody who might be interested in joining us and starting a business, because a lot of people are looking for side hustles at the moment, just let me know, get in touch with me, and I'll let them know how it all works. And the big one, though, is the bulb blade and lid for $29. So this is only the second time that they have offered this deal. It's limited time. It does say it goes till December, but of course, if we run out of stock, then we run out of stock. So you are saving $346. It's a absolutely gobsmackingly great deal. Let me stop sharing. So if you know anybody as well who might be thinking about a Thermomix, give me a call, give them my details, because we would love for everybody. I don't want people to miss out because they didn't know that the deal existed and then come and complain to you or to me. They didn't know that it was on, and they would have taken it up if they'd known about it. So, did anyone have any questions?
Yeah. So Helen did ask, and I think I tried to answer, how do you share the app with your partner? So perhaps you could show us how to find the app. And also, you alluded to it, but you didn't show us how, for example, if you go into the shopping list, how you can share the shopping list so that you can send it to someone and they can pick everything up on their way home.
Yes. Yep, I will do. So the app, let me show you the app. So it's where's my finger? There we go. It's the Cookidoo app there. So each person downloads the Cookidoo app, and then everybody logs in if you're sharing it within the household. And also you can do up to a couple of Thermomixes, and not quite sure how many people, but at least a family's worth. Everybody logs in under the same login, and then you just create, you search, and the easiest way of doing it is creating a collection for each person so that they can save what they want to choose in their own collection. Of course, promise them nothing. You might make it, but at least they're being part of the process. So then with our shopping, I'm going to show you that so everyone can see it. Then anything that has dots, so there's 3 dots up the top there, anything that has dots or lines, explore, absolutely explore. So then you press share, and then I would copy and then paste into a message. And that's how to share with your friends and family. With the meal quantity change, can you do it for the mashed potato? Yes, let's have a look. Let me share screen again. Oh, hang on, set 4, it didn't let me log in before. Let's see if it does now. A bit traumatized by that, because normally I just hit log in. That is not cool. All right. So let's do it from here. Let us explore. So a really good, actually the better mashed potato is mashed potato for two. Let me type in mashed potato. So we get a whole bunch of different potato mashes, jerk chicken. Let me have a look. Hash browns. Nah, it's probably potato mash. Does that make any difference? Oh, there we go. So it's potato mash, as always. So mashed potatoes for two that you can see there is actually a bit of a superior one. It actually steams the potato, but let us open mashed potatoes. That has 4 portions. So you said it was 6. Let's have a look. That's 4 portions. And so we've actually got several different versions because you'll have a UK version, an Australia version, an American version. Oh, there you go. So mashed potatoes, that one is 6 portions. I'm going to try. All right. So they haven't automatically yet changed it. So you'd have to do it manually. So I would say, let's have a look at the other one. Now, to know where the recipe comes from, let me just show you. Scroll down to the bottom of the recipe and you can actually see what country and what cookbook the recipe comes from. That's always super handy when you've got maybe 3 or 4 versions of a recipe. Let's have a look at that one. So that's Australian mashed potatoes. So I would actually recommend the mashed potatoes for 2. And then, so there's no choice to change that serving size as yet if you wanted to make 4. But it wouldn't actually be that difficult to double in your own way. Does that answer a question? Let's have a look at these mashed potatoes, 4 portions. Oh, there you go. So that one goes to 4 or 6. And that one is from, the basic cookbook, Saudi Arabia, Switzerland, Canada. So that's kind of cool. I didn't even know Saudi Arabia had their own basic cookbook. So that's groovy. Because the other one is from Canada and the US. So having 10,000 recipes, awesome, but you just got to have a little bit of a think about it sometimes as to what's there. Now we have gone over my allotted 45 minutes, but I wanted to show you, hopefully I have given you a little bit of inspiration. Let me just search. I wanted to show you the best. So if you search for hummus and you find, wait, come back. Hummus, enter, and you scroll down. I'm not saying make hummus. I am saying sun-dried tomato hummus with crackers. I can't share with you the link because my I can't log in on my laptop today.
It was down temporarily, so it's back up again now. Cookidoo, yeah, because I tried mine.
It's not me.
Yeah, they're probably doing maintenance. Yeah,
that's not fair. All right, no. Oh, yay! We're back. Okay. So, because I want to share with you the recipe, hummus. Oh, search this one here. With these crackers here, I actually have all of the ingredients. So you can just cook the crackers. You don't have to cook the hummus at all. I have all of these ingredients in my cupboard, so I can just smash out the crackers. What I do is I follow the recipe. So it just says, put everything in there, mix 6 seconds, speed 6, and then knead for 2 minutes. What I then do, so let me copy that recipe. Copy, stop share. I will share it here. There we go. Then I put it in just small lumps in between 2 sheets of baking paper. Then I roll it as thin as humanly possible. Like I'm talking thin, thin, thin. Then I cut it into cracker sizes with my pizza cutter, or I just got these new jobbies from the mix shop, which I'll try next, which you can actually just shape your crackers into whatever you'd like. So I'll probably use that one. Shape your crackers, put it into the oven and make sure that it actually does brown. My oven's a little bit slow, so I do a couple of extra minutes on top of what it says. And then they break up, and they are perfect for your cheese platters and your quince and pear paste and all that sort of stuff, and even dip and all that. They're my highly recommend. Make the crackers and really impress your friends. And they're simple as anything. Just make sure thin, 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 like I'm talking practically see-through thin. All right. Does anybody have any other questions? Anything I can share with you? It's been a little bit different this time because I haven't made anything. Oh, hang on. Let's bring this over. I wanted to show you how it actually looks, how a created recipe looks before we finish off. Everyone still hear me? So we're just thinking. All right. So I am going to, yeah, it's thinking about it. Go back. My week, I put the, so there's the goslomet. You can see that. So I only changed the first little bit. So start cooking, and you can actually see that the prep and steps have started. So I'm going to press start cooking. Enjoy cooking your own recipe. So that's very groovy. So add 1 onion. There's no weight on that, but 3 seconds, speed 7. If I press my little dial down the bottom here, it actually comes up with 3 seconds, shows me speed 7, and asks me to turn speed selected to 7. Then I press the X and I go to the next step, and it says 30 grams of olive oil. I press the scales and the scales come up and it tells me 30 grams of olive oil. So it really is just like a normal Cookidoo recipe. Let me show you one that I've fully done. So my recipes, created recipes, thinking. Let's go down to the chicken, bacon and leek pie. So with recipes, I'm not sure if you've seen Amy as you follow the steps in a normal recipe. You have 1 clove of garlic, 1 leek, 1 onion halved. Oh, there we go. 4 seconds, speed 5. Then we go the next step, 25 grams of olive oil. Bring up our scales. 4 minutes, 100. So then I press the little thing on the bottom, 4 minutes, 100. Speed 2. Insert butterfly. So you just break it down. And then there's our 500 grams of chicken breast. So yeah, I'm really impressed. So there's 100 grams of bacon chopped. So I just bring up the scales. And then the next step, 1 tablespoon of veggie stock. So that is such a fantastic resource that we have now. So we've got recipe scaling, we've got created recipes, we've got the cutter coming, we've also got all our modes on here. So when the cutter comes, there'll be an extra mode for the cutter. And who else knows? Create recipes with the 5. You can create them on that app and the website, but you cannot bring them up on the screen of a TM5. The functionality is not there, but you could still have it as a recipe that you could follow within your Cookidoo. So yeah, they've really the 6 really is the next step, but the 5 can still do a heck of a lot, which is awesome, which is really good. Cool. Awesome. Any other questions, comments, any suggestions for next week's Thursday, Thermix Thursday that I can make that you want to see without having to try it yourself? I can be your guinea pig if you'd like. No. Oh. Yes, absolutely, Amy. I will come and do your proper delivery with that machine, because I am very, even when people buy a Thermomix secondhand, I would like to go and show them how to use it, because I fully believe that even secondhand, it's something that you should get all the instructions for. Oh, sous vide. Yes. Well, actually, the one thing that does float my boat with sous vide is there's a white chocolate cheesecake with sous vide strawberries. Might be in brandy or something, but that I can get my hand around. Or you can actually do your scrambled eggs in sous vide. I'll have to have a little bit of a read up of that and see what we can do that we can get accomplished in the 45 minutes to an hour that so I don't have to keep people on for too long. Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming along. Please let us know how we went, anything we can else do to help you. Thanks, Liz, for manning the chat for me. And yeah, thanks everyone for coming along. And hopefully we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. I shall stop recording.